Hello everyone, Pallytub here. Welcome back to Heroes of the Storm. In today's video, in our A through Z playthrough, we have finally landed on the Birdman himself, Falstad. He is the character that I used the most to climb through Hero League in the preseason, and he's a character that I've had a pretty good amount of success with this season as well, you know, before I stopped playing that completely hate-filled mode of the game. And he is also... his development cycle is actually pretty interesting as well. He's gone from an auto-attack character to a mage, to an auto-attack character to a mage, to a cooldown-focused mage, which has been a really interesting transition through the game. We're going to play him today. I just did 2 practice games. They all went horribly, so let's see how this one goes. It's been nothing but assassins. It's 5 assassins versus 5 assassins in a complete slugfest. Let's see if we get another one of those here today. Now, you'll have to excuse me if my memory of Falstad is a little wrong. Like I said, I played 2 practice games with him just to kind of gather my thoughts over how I think his development played out. But if there's any inaccuracies, please feel free to call me out on that in the comments below. Now, Falstad started out as an auto-attack character. He had a different heroic ability. He had Shock and Awe, which was Hinterland's Blast back in the day. I still call it Shock and Awe every now and then, and it confuses someone. And he also had, I don't remember the name of it, I'm sure someone will, he also had a talent that would do a big AoE around him. The center of my webcam is off to the side. Big AoE around him. And it would stun everyone around him, and it had a channel time. And it was really weird that this delicate and fragile character, you know, you have to play Falstad really carefully. He's very squishy, actually. Doesn't have very much sustain at all. You would have to play him so cautiously, but then they give him just this massive AoE bomb that goes off around his character after he channels for 2 seconds, which means he would have to jump right into the middle of all of the danger on the map, sit there, channel, and then blow up to hurt everyone around him. Blizzard eventually decided that an auto-attacking character that had to stay really far back and then had an explosive ultimate probably wasn't the best idea, and they changed the name of Shock and Awe to Hinterland's Blast. They rebranded him as if you were a person that was brought into a corporation to give it a new look and message and get it to trend more with millennials, you know what I'm saying? So, Hinterland's Blast was no more, and instead, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die to this grenade right here. Why did you throw the grenade at the tower? What happened? Instead, he was given the, dude, Mighty Gust. I couldn't think of it. He was given Mighty Gust, which makes a lot more sense. You have a very fragile character. You want to move people away from you. This allowed Falstad to play very cautiously, and if someone came up into his area, he could push this person back, ultimately creating safety for himself, which is really good. He, how are so many people dying? He was also, at I believe this same time, given a more mage focus. So before this time, when he had the bomb that would go off around him, he was mostly an auto-attack character. With the change of him having the Mighty Gust, he became a mage-style character. Not the mage that we see today. He was a mage that was focused around the idea of just amping up his damage and trying to kill someone immediately. Also at this same time, we received a number of talents that affected his hammer. So for instance, you could increase the range of the hammer. You could have the hammer explode again. You could stack up damage for like each hammer that you hit, which is one of the talents that we have right now. And this was a pretty dramatic shift for Falstad, and he was still played. He's always been a character, especially after he got the the Mighty Gust, he's always been a character that has been played in competitive just because of the impact that that ability by itself can have. Kind of like the same how Zeratil's kind of always been played just because VP's the best ultimate in the game. Falstad was pretty much in the same boat. People pick him for his ultimate, not necessarily what he does in between his ultimates. But that being said, you know, he was in a pretty good spot. He was doing all right, but he did shift from an auto attack character to a mage character. All of his talents were focused on the hammer, and then in the late game, you would kind of stack up. There was like an activation to increase your ability damage. I think he still has that talent. And you would just try to blow someone up as fast as possible. This is back when the Hinterlands Blast was still, you know, a viable pick. You could still pick that because Falstad's goal in life was to just blow someone up before they even had any idea what happened to them. And he was really good at that, actually. He was really good at that. Let's see if we can cap this before the enemy team gets it. We were not lucky enough. My fault. Should have acted on that faster. But a pretty dramatic shift from a sustained damage auto attacker. He shifted into this burst damage mage. And to counter this, Blizzard increased the cooldown of the shock and awe. And basically made it so if you wanted to blow someone up, it could only be every 2 minutes or something like that. So took a lot of the utility out of it. Took a lot of the, you know... you basically couldn't even use it every team fight. There would be team fights where you wouldn't have your ultimate. And that made it a lot less desirable. And around the same time, people started to realize how good, you know, Mighty Gust was. Because it didn't catch on overnight. Especially in, you know, just the normal quick match. This is before we had, you know, a ton of Hero League going on or whatever. There were no seasons or anything. Then... Blizzard saw that this new play style of Falstad having to use his hammer to do fun stuff was cool, and they incorporated some melee talents to this, or auto attack talents to this. This is when you get things like secret weapon. So you would increase the range of your hammer and then increase the damage that your auto attacks deal while the hammer is out, and just try to do as much auto attack stuff in that time as you can, which was a pretty fun build, and you could do it with either heroic. So all of a sudden, he kind of shifted a bit more towards melee. And now what we have now is the third or second or fourth or however many rework of Falstad. And he is a... I'm fine, right? No. No. And now he is a mage that still focuses on hammer talents of the early game. But these hammer talents are based around cooldown reduction. So he's no longer a burst damage hero. He's no longer, well, I guess he kind of is, but not to the extent that he used to be. He's no longer a sustained damage auto attacker. He is a mage that focuses on CDR and is able to do a massive amount of damage over the course of a match if his team is positioned for him well and if he is able to cast while not taking damage, which is pretty interesting, actually. He did have a few, you know, other builds in there for a while. You guys know, if you've watched my channel for a long time, you guys should know that I employed a build that I dubbed as the Zero Stress Falstad build. It didn't require positioning at all, and it would use generic talents like First Aid, and it would use generic talents like... I think I made this worse. Yeah, my bad. My bad, Cigar. It used generic talents like Seasoned Marksman to just go into combat, use Vampiric Assault, and generate shields for yourself without ever having to care about your positioning or how much damage you were taking. You could just live through all of it. And I climbed from like rank 44 after my 16 loss streak in my place of matches. I climbed from that to rank 6 or 8 or whatever I ended the season at, the preseason. All because of this guy right here. He's a character I hold near and dear to my heart, even though I don't really play him that much anymore. And he's definitely a character that every player should have in their arsenal, just because of the amount of impact he can have on any given match. We have picked up Mighty Gust now, which can be used defensively. It could be used offensively. You can set up wombo combos with it. You can try to peel for your team with it. It has 1,000 uses. Like, for instance, if our Abathur continues to die in the middle of the lane, we can push people away from him, potentially. I'm going up top. I'm going to try to burst down this Lunara as fast as I can. Ooh, how did she do that? Judgment coming up from Tyrael. Here we go, boys. Nicely done. I don't have flight, but what I do have is a secret... No, I guess it's a boomerang. It's not a secret weapon at all, excuse me. I'm going to recall and then make my way down to the bottom lane. We are going to go for Flowrider, and this is what I was talking about. Falstad is a cooldown-focused mage now. While Tailwind is active, your basic abilities recharge 100% faster. Tailwind is your trait. It gives you a movement speed as long as you don't take damage for a few moments, and allows you to do a lot of extra damage if you're able to maintain the Tailwind buff. Which, you know, sometimes it's kind of hard to do. I'm going to go retake top right now. I know they're having a fight. They're really into that. I'm going to go retake top. Or hopefully they retake it, actually. Because there's no reason for them not to. No, they're not doing it. Okay. So I'm going to go retake top, and hopefully Zagara can come take middle or something. I understand not everybody cares about the objective as much as me, but, you know, just try to do the objective and shit. Tyrael did die under the tower. Lunara's moving up on our Kerrigan. She's going to be just fine, though. Let's see if we can become the dragon, boys. We should be able to get some free damage in on this Arthas here. And I'm just going to channel on this, and hopefully we'll be fine. Oh, we just lost top. Lunara moved up there. All right, so not a ton of coordination from our team. I could try to type in a pep talk here, but, you know, I've just been doing my own inner monologue since this game started, so I could have definitely been played better as well. But let's try to focus on the match right now. It's just very important that we don't take damage, like, ever. If we want to deal damage, it's going to fall on us to always be just out of arm's reach versus these players. Just throwing our Q in with just enough range to not really take a lot of damage from these guys. We won't always be able to do that, obviously, but that's the main intention of our build. We are going to go for reduces the delay for the Tailwind activation. That's going to make it so that our trade just kicks in a little bit faster, and you guessed it, we get even more cooldown reduction, so we can throw out even more Qs, detonate those Qs in the air, and deal more damage. Looks like Tyrael is taking over the top shrine right now, so we're going to fly to the middle and have faith in our team to be able to get that. Because, of course, that should be a 4v2 if Abathur is helping. So we're just going to hang out here in the middle lane. They have gathered it, we become the Daggett, and we push the middle keep down. Yay! Or the middle fort, I guess. We could pressure bottom right here, but the enemy team is going to respawn pretty quickly, which means that I won't actually have a ton of time to do that. So I'm going to try to get this minion wave pushing in with me. Let's kick Jim Raynor out of the way. And now we're going to move in here. No support from our team at all. Looks like we're just one dragon against the world right now, which is a little unfortunate. We can kick Zul away. Yeah, I'm not going to get anything done with this. We can maybe head up top and do something there. Kerrigan's currently dead, so I mean, it makes sense that she's not here to help, but everyone else certainly could have been a bit more responsive to that. We'll at least get this. And then I need a position so I can get away effectively, which we have just... Oh, that grenade was good! That grenade was real good, and we're dead. Because Lunara is fair and balanced. Okay, so again, not the most effective Dragonite in the whole world. Seems like our team's kind of all over the place, splitting off, doing their own thing. I could try to stick with them a little bit more. Like I said, Falstad's always been one of those characters that's had a really high pick rate. He's always been in competitive just because of not only his really good heroic ability, but also because of his ability to be everywhere on the map. His flight, he doesn't have a mount, but every 45 seconds he can fly somewhere. This allows him to soak a ton of XP, more so than any character other than maybe an Abathur, and allows him to, and Lost Vikings, and I'm sure there's more characters now, but you get what I'm saying. It allows him to have not only an impact on a match based off of his hero damage, or not only impact on the match based off his ultimates and wombo combos and things like that, but he's also able to just kind of be everywhere. So all of a sudden, you know, if your team's going in for a 2v1 gank, or a 2v1 gank, you can make that a 3v1. Or if there's an unfavorable trade going on at a certain part of the map, you can zoom in and kind of be the hero that they need to make that encounter go a little bit better. And he is really, 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 really good in that regard. Now, his win rate right now is kind of saying otherwise, but just the fundamental skill set of the character is going to lend itself a little bit better to players that are extremely aware of the map, extremely aware of the limitations of Falstad. So you see, like, players who focus on Falstad, like, it's a completely different way of approaching the map as opposed to, say, like a Li Ming. You know, a Li Ming cares about what's going on around her most of the time. You know, there are exceptions to that, but the Falstad cares about every facet of the map because he can be there for all of it. Kind of similar to a Brightwing. So we're gonna take over the top lane. Abathur's gonna don't stand there. Don't stand there. That's a bad idea. That's even worse. You're making it worse. You're making it so much worse. They're gonna rotate up here to get the fucking okay, whatever. Let's go get bottom. We have Epic Mount now, which allows us to basically instantly fly wherever we want to go. And our flight is only on a 20-second cooldown? Something like that. Which basically means I can be everywhere my heart desires whenever I feel like being there. We're dead. No! Tailwind kicking in early. Look at that. Look at that. Another thing I really like about Falstad is the fact that he never really has to use a sippy cup because he can always just go back and then fly back in, which means he can save those for very important occasions. We can fly right in on this Zul here. Should be able to get this kill. Nicely done. We'll try to retake bottom. Be really nice if I get an Abathur top hat. Okay, a little too late, buddy. A little too late. That's all right, though. You didn't know. You didn't know. We push Tychus out. I can get this, fly middle, and become a dragon again. And then we can go join our Abathur up in the top lane. Okay. And I guess this is a perfect map to show Falstad's strengths on because he is able to rotate so quickly and capitalize on the Dragon Knight so quickly that he's just a complete, like, package on this map. He's everything you want on the Garden Terror. He's really good on Sky Temple, too. He kind of falls off a little bit on the smaller maps, like the Tomb of the Spider Queen, but not too much. He's still good. Go away. Dude, I'm gonna get nothing out of this dragon again, huh? Abathur did all that pushing up top. I'm gonna kill this building. It's gonna look like I didn't do anything. Our team's not here because they all died. I'm not having very good dragons at all this game. I do want to push bottom a little bit, though. While they're just hanging out middle, we can clear this. Make them all stand in the fire. Is it weird to anyone else that one flame breath from the dragon doesn't kill, like, a minion wave? I'm not the only one who finds that strange, right? Alright, good. This should be a triple kill for the friendly team. We might be able to push Arthas into the corner here. Get even more value out of it. Unfortunately, I can't engage anymore because I have like 10 health, but that could have been a decent gust. If he comes to interrupt us, we can just fly somewhere else. And then back there, but he didn't do that, so we can fly back in now. Abathur seems to be pushing the middle lane, and we actually just wiped the entirety of the enemy team. I'm going to push with this Abathur. He should be able to get a lot done. I don't know why his hands are in the air. He usually does that when he's taking some damage. We could go for the core right now, but we don't seem to be anywhere near organized enough for that to happen, boys. So I'm just going to focus on this easy siege damage. There's a ton of locusts here. They're going to be soaking up a ton of damage. And we should just be able to move in and take all this down. We still have 10 seconds. And they have stuff on their core, so we probably have longer than that. I'm totally in favor of staying here. Lunara's going to come intercept, but that's fine. We could just fly out. All right, beautiful. So with that Dragonite, we were able to effectively take down every building that the enemy team had. I kind of just aggroed those on our Abathur just a little bit there, just a little bit, but that's okay. We can move in and take them down now. Let's go ahead and recall here. And again, I'm out of mana, and normally this would irritate me, but we're on Falstad. So we just go back, we spend 2 seconds in the well, and then we fly to the next place that we are needed. Granted, I didn't stay to get full mana, but you get what I'm saying. It's like there's never any downtime. You're always everywhere on the map. You're always contributing in some way. And honestly, I think if Seasoned Marksman right now didn't have that stupid cap on it, I really do think Falstad could be played as an auto attacker again. But that stupid limitation where you can only get 40 extra damage, I think really hurts him actually. Because you can just be everywhere on Falstad. You could always be getting stacks. You could always be getting stacks for Seasoned Marksman. You could pair that with Secret Weapon. I mean, he still has talents for an effective auto attack build, but I really do think the main limiting factor is that you can only get 40 extra damage on your auto attack. I can fly to every lane ever. I can always be there. I can always be farming, but the cap prevents me from doing that. Hi, Jim Raider. Hello, I'm here to kill you. Hi, Lulara. You could probably win this trade. Never mind, you're standing in all of those minions. Zul's gonna kill me, so let's push him away. I'm still gonna die anyway, but the dragon looks like it's gonna move in, and it's gonna kill the core. Now, when I play Falstad, this is just me personally, I never look at the amount of damage that he's done to heroes because there's so many other parts of Falstad that are important. Just being there, being a body for your team, always flying in on the objective, doing things like that. I think that's more valuable than just a hero damage number. But, you know, feel free to judge me. He will definitely perform significantly better with a front line sitting there so you don't take damage, allowing you to reduce your cooldowns and continuing to throw out the hammer after hammer after hammer after hammer. That's still really, really strong. But the talents we went for today, and the talents you'll pretty much go for every time if you want to play Falstad competitively right now. Gathering Storm level 1, Updraft level 4, Boomerang, Mighty Gust, Flowrider, Airy Gusts, and Epic Mount. Your level 20 talent can actually be anything. All of his level 20 talents are good, and situationally, they can all perform very, very well. I went for Epic Mount just so I could be everywhere on Dragonshire. But that's Falstad. I cannot think of a single character that has changed more throughout not only their development cycle, like we don't even know how much he changed behind the scenes, right? Just while he's been on live servers, he's changed drastically like 4 times. I think that's really interesting. It's really interesting development. But I think he's been the most changed character. If you can think of another one, let me know down in the comments. But that's it for me today, guys. Hope you enjoyed today's video. Up next, we are going to have Gazlowe. Like, Gazlowe, I think, other than Murky, probably has the biggest cult following of any character ever. I really enjoy Gazlowe personally, and I'm looking forward to playing him. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Something just fell off my desk, and I'll see you all next time.